Welcome to the Expect Success Podcast, a presentation of GeorgeBollock.com with your host, George Bollock. This podcast is for all things personal development. Don't expect success, prepare for it. Please welcome your host, George Bollock.
Welcome to Expect Success at GeorgeBollock.com. David Pietsch was a chiropractor for 10 years in Minnesota and built a very large clinic when he was introduced to network marketing. After normal business hours, David would do presentations to live audiences of 50 to 100 people. He did this for 1,000 nights in a row. Now, David became the fastest person in his company to hit the highest rank, and not only once, but twice. He has been a seven-figure-a-year earner for the last 6 years and has earned over $10 million in lifetime commissions and has got some real no BS advice for you. Simon Chan of MLM Nation recently asked David in an interview, what mistakes do most make just starting out in a new network marketing business venture? Listen to David.
Why did you do, you said you did pretty well. Why did you think you did well while a lot of people struggle?
Desire. I was so far in debt that, I just saw this as a way I could use my free time. And I had a big network of people. I played football in college up in the Twin Cities, where I was going to chiropractic school. I went to high school there as well. And I just thought, hey, rather than going out there getting a job, making $10 an hour or whatever, I can tell people about this. And, I just saw that as a vehicle to pay off my student loans. And that was the goal. And that's what I did.
What are some mistakes you see people make when they first start off?
They want instant gratification. They have no idea the price that has to be paid. I look at my life. I went to school to become a chiropractor. So that meant 4 years, had to get a biology degree. So I went and did that. Then I went to chiropractic school for 4 years. I built 3 chiropractic offices. Each one of them took me about 4 years to get up and running. And I think most people come to the starting line in network marketing and they somehow think that they have acquired the skills to get out there and build a global network of people, this big, massive residual income, and they're just kidding themselves. So they've got to think of what you can accomplish over a lifetime or 5 years, 10 years at least, rather than the next 3 weeks or 3 months or even 3 years. It just takes time to get your network in place, to learn these skills, and to get thick skin like I had when I started.
Now, you built a huge network. You said you had 3 chiropractic offices. Obviously, you're an entrepreneur, very driven. Why did you, and things are obviously doing well, why did you go back into network marketing, especially after the first time your company had gone under and you built this huge chiropractic clinic already?
Yeah, that's a great question. Simon, for me, when I was 18, I was playing football. I broke my collarbone. As quarterback, broke my collarbone. Decided to get into chiropractic. I thought that I started out pre-med. Went to a chiropractor, thought this is cool. This guy's an entrepreneur. He's got his own shop. And so I was very passionate about, getting out there and helping people. And I worked really, really, really hard at my craft, not only to be good at doing chiropractic, but to building a large clinic. To do that, I had to actually, I didn't just say, hey, here I am, everybody, come see me. I had to get out there and recruit people to be my patients. The primary way that I actually did that was going to the gym, just standing there with my little chiropractic stand and just meeting people and just gaining a rapport, inviting them to come in, see if I can help them, and I was selling care packages that cost a lot. And so I was getting rejected all the time. And so my skin was getting really, really, really thick. But the bottom line is I went to school for 8 years. I did it for around 10. So I had almost 20 years into chiropractic. And I woke up one day and I was 37 years old. And I realized I am not anywhere where I want to be financially, and I have no life whatsoever. All I do is work. All I do is see patients. And honest to goodness, I just remember waking up one day going, I never have fun. I truly have forgotten how to have fun. And so I just knew that change was the key. And I think this is going to resonate with an awful lot of folks that are out there that are like me, that spent an awful lot of time to go do something. Whether it's whatever career you're in. I had 20 years, and it was very difficult for me to say, I'm going to cut my losses. I'm going to make a career change now because I want to come out the other end free. I wanted residual income. I wanted time and money, and I knew that I had no shot of doing that in chiropractic. Chiropractic was good for my patients, terrible for me in my life.
So once you got started, you said you did a meeting to 1,000 people, 1,000 straight nights.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So 6 days after I joined my company, I made the decision I'm going to do it. And so I had some contractors come in, tear out some walls in my clinic, and I just started doing that presentation night after night after night. I had 7 front desk girls. I said, hey, after our shift tonight, go home, grab your boyfriends, grab your friend, just bring them back here. Let's start showing them what we're doing. And we just very organically built that thing up. You know, look, I know that all things are about momentum and about massive action. And I looked, I looked at the income disclosure statement of our company. You know, some people look and they see what percentage of people fail. You know, X number of people don't make any money. I did the exact opposite. I looked at that thing and I thought, who is the #1 income earner in this company? How much does that person make? And I found out who that person was, and I said, I'm going to pass that person. And I found out I was in his downline, so everything I did was benefiting him, but I was swinging for the fence. You know, I just study the habits of people who are more successful than me. If you're more successful than me, if I think whatever my definition of success is, if you're more than me, I'm all over you. Just like in chiropractic, I had the best chiropractic coaches. I used to go visit the best chiropractors in the country. You know, I want to be around people who are winning at the highest level because I want to get it done in the least amount of time so I can have freedom coming out the other end. So, yep, I tore the walls out of the clinic. We started doing that presentation, and I did it every single night for 1,000 days in a row, except for major holidays. And if there was a company function, I went to that. But there was never one night where I was just sitting at home watching TV or going to a ball game or whatever for that season. But I literally get paid today, Simon, for behavior that I had 9, 10, and 11 years ago. So for those viewers that are watching this going, you know, can I get into a company? You know, do I have to be one of the guys at the top? Do I have to get in early? Do I have to do it full time? You know, do I have to have people placed underneath me from some sort of upline or some sort of advantage? No, I'm living proof that I'm just a person that got in, not early, did it all part-time, went from the absolute bottom to the absolute top. It's there for the taking if you want it bad enough.
That's awesome. Now, for more from David Pietsch, simply search YouTube and go to his website, davidpietsch.com. That's D like in David, A-V-I-D, P like in Paul, IETSCH.com. And please don't forget to check out Simon Chan's podcast at MLMNation.com. I listen to Simon almost every day. Simon interviews top MLM leaders from around the world, and they share strategies, tools, and resources used to build their successful network marketing businesses. And finally, remember, as the late great Jim Rohn used to say, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Today you've been hanging out with David Pietsch. Keep up the momentum. Subscribe to our newsletter so you never miss another episode. We'll catch you on the next show. And thanks so much for listening. See ya.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Expect Success podcast with your host, George Bollick. If you enjoyed today's podcast, please rate, subscribe, and review. And find more great content online at georgebollick.com and on Facebook and Twitter at George Bollick. We'll catch you next time. And remember, don't just expect success, prepare for it.